I am content creator Joey Garrity. I'm the founder of Superstar Women Entrepreneurs Media Network and Joey G113. I'm dedicated to empowering women entrepreneurs to create a beautiful, personal, and professional lifestyle by spotlighting superstar tools, tips, and resources that gain them ease and grace. Every episode, myself, along with a featured guest, share our Superstar Women Entrepreneurs journey on my globally recognized show, Superstar Women Entrepreneurs Spotlight with Joey. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Superstar Women Entrepreneurs Spotlight with Joey, or SWE for short. I'm Joey Garrity, and you can learn more about my products and services at joeyg113.com. You can also learn why I call my brand Joey G113 while you're there. It's really interesting. It's actually in homage to two superstar women entrepreneurs, and one of them is Marilyn Monroe. So go check that out. You can find that in my blog section. I'm a content creator and I'm the founder of Superstar Women Entrepreneurs and Media Network, and it's a Livestream destination by and for women entrepreneurs. And I have one of the content creators with me today, Kimberly Layne Roberts. I'm going to be bringing her up from the green room in just a minute, and we are going to be talking about a really one of my favorite topics, right? How to foster a wealthy mindset with executive coach Kimberly Layne Roberts. And I truly know that wealth comes from a mindset first. I know this firsthand because I had to learn that along the way. And we're going to be talking about how I've learned that. And I know Kimberly's going to be talking about that as well. I want to share a little bit about Kimberly with you all today. She's fantastic. She's absolutely a leader in her industry. And she's an executive leadership coach, and she's a peer business group chair, which we're going to talk about that too. I think that's so interesting. Her why is because she loves helping people get out of their own way, right? That's got to be the number one. Seriously, with the wealth mindset, right? Get out of your own way. Learn to lean and collaborate with others and to leverage with your brain power and the collective. And I think that's so interesting too, because I'm all about collaboration too. But I want to say this on a side note. I believe that actually society has us going in the back door, and it really builds us to be lone wolves. Okay, we're going to talk more about that. And I want you to kick your lone wolf behavior to the side because I'm a recovering lone wolf for sure. For sure. So let's bring Kimberly up from the green room. Hi, Kimberly.
Hi, Joey. Hi there. I just have to laugh because I was a lone wolf. Oh my
Oh,
gosh. I was
yeah.
a workaholic. I was all me, myself, and I doing it all. Right. And
Oh, yeah.
wow. So great topic. And yes, no more lone wolves.
No more lone wolves. And let me tell you, I believe that it's actually indoctrinated in our society on purpose. It's how it keeps us small, right? It's just that whole idea of you have to do it all. You're the only one that can do it right, right? That to me is I call that going in the back door. So I want everyone to go in the front door. So let's talk about some wealthy mindset with you today, sister. So could you just describe a little bit about your wealth journey with the audience out there? Because wealth is so many different things to so many different
Oh my
people.
gosh. It's a long story. How much time do we have? Yeah. So, wow. I guess I just feel led to start here is that, due to some trauma that occurred in my life, I threw my pain into being a workaholic and to being a good student and getting, honor students in high school, going to an honors college, then getting my MBA and be a superstar, summa cum laude, blah, 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 right? And then obviously be a top performer in any career that I took on. Working 24/7 pretty much. I mean, not literally, but just for the most part, work was my life, right? And that's where I took my pain
Oh, yeah.
because that's where I got positive reinforcement
Oh,
versus
yeah.
anywhere else in my life, right? So I wasn't having successful marriage, and that went by the wayside pretty quick, and blah blah blah. So, um, and then through a realization in a car accident, I kind of. So I was wealthy. I was making great money. I was able to buy whatever I wanted. I could go on great trips, and so wealth was there, right? So, however, internally, I wasn't abundant. Internally, I wasn't feeling healthy and
Right.
wealthy. Internally, I wasn't happy, right? So, um, So I just got this mindset about what needs to change to make that happen, right? And so then I started doing a lot more spiritual work. I'm a Reiki master, a lot more meditation. Obviously, did a lot of self-help and reading and uh, psychotherapy and whatever. But I just really believe that um, I still work hard. I just don't. I'm just not a workaholic. I work smart and I leverage the collaboration of other people, or I leverage people that are smaller than me or more talented than me on live stream like Joey Garrity, right? So it's just really, really understanding where my limit is. And now I'm married with a family. So it's like, it's for sure, I'm really smart about where do I spend my time? What do I delegate? Who do I hire? These are the things I really want to focus on. These are where my purpose is. And I think going from that journey of work was my defense, or work was my place to thrive because I was in so much pain.
Mm.
A lot of this kind of leads to where my executive coaching comes into play. I truly believe, I'm not saying everybody, but I think majority of us, when we are succeeding in work or building our wealth, if you will, it's because we are running from something that has hurt us or painful. We're going to show dad that, yeah, we are a superstar. Or mom, I'm going to prove to mom that I can do this, or my brother or my neighbor who someone said to me, you'll never amount to anything, right? So we're proving it. But then it comes to a point in our life, usually between, I say 45 and 55, we're like, this doesn't serve me anymore. Like, I'm not happy. Like, I got to the top. I became CEO. I made $1 million. I did this. But you know what? I'm alone, or my marriage is falling apart. I don't have a relationship with my kids. My health stinks. And so it's kind of like, I believe you can have whatever you want. You can be that CEO. You can have $1 billion company. I'm just going to be, as your executive coach, make sure that you do that without sacrificing your health, your relationships, your family, and anything else you want to, anything else that's important to you in your life. So I had to go through that process myself. So to me, I am thankfully I'm successful, so I'm wealthy that way. But more importantly, I'm wealthy in my joy and my abundance and my gratitude and my relationships, especially. And I love my life. I love my life. I finally, I've, yeah. So
That's such like a roll out the red carpet share, right? Because I know there are endless people right now that are either listening to this or watching this that can completely relate. There are so many women entrepreneurs out there right now that are like, I see you, I hear you, that's me, and I want to change that, or that was me, or I'm in the midst of transforming myself to get to that place. And I completely agree with you 1,000%. I call it love me not.
yes,
And the love me not is I was just running around just going, if I could just, and I talked about it in my second book, uh, being your own superstar, how to expand your love capacity, that about chasing the golden circle. If I could just get in the golden circle and
right.
get the recognition, then I know that will give me the worth and the worthiness that I'm deserving. And so I was just chasing and chasing and chasing. And then one day I had a download and the divine said, but you are the golden circle. And I was like, what? Are you kidding me?
Exactly. Like it's within
I
you
was
all
like,
along. It's,
"Wait,
you don't
where
need
was
external
this
validation, right?
download in my like, when I was driving myself into the ground in Hollywood?" Like, love me not,
Right,
love
right. Oh, they
me,"
love
right?
me not. Yeah, you're walking around with your daisy. Love me not, love me. Yeah, it's like he loves me. Oh,
It's like
yeah,
crazy. It's crazy, but I think it's extremely common. I do. I think it's extremely common. So I know that there's someone out there or some ones out there that are having an aha moment right now. And Kimberly and I are encouraging you to stop chasing the circle and just know that you are the circle and make peace and grace with that first. And now take a breath and now go. Because it has been the wealthiest game changer for me to date by far.
yeah. It's. I also like to say it's stop running from something and
Mhm.
running towards your
Yeah.
star, your light, your purpose, your
Yeah.
passion.
Like, start
It's
looking
a
up.
whole different motivation. Like, do you hate to lose or do you love to win? Like, I'm running towards happiness. I'm not running from pain, right? So I'm running towards
Yes,
abundance, right? So
sister.
that's the difference, right? So and
Yes.
here's my wonderful book.
No, yeah, I wanna talk about your book, and I'll be putting it into the, shout outs to everyone. You can grab it on Amazon. Connections change everything, and is that not the truth? So when you're a lone wolf, there are no connections happening really, right? Maybe business connections or that kind of thing, but not really real connections. So what a game changer.
Well, it was, and you've read my book, Joey, so you know the first, I think, 2 chapters are really devoted to my personal story. So I
Mm,
always wanted to write a book about my personal story, my personal journey, which I've shared a little bit about with you all. But then I didn't want to make the book about my journey and victim and blah, 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 blah. So I turned it also into a leadership book because that's truly, and we'll get to your previous share on there in a second. But, I suffered from like, what is it? 1/3 out of every children or women suffer from sexual abuse when they're young as a child. I think it's really 2 out of 3. And you probably could put boys
yeah.
in there too. Why? Because the other third aren't speaking up, aren't sharing their story, right? So I um, feel like I've really done my journey. I've healed through it. I've confronted the abuser, blah, blah, blah. But that is in my first 2 chapters of the book. And the reason why I talk about that is going through that experience, and many of us have had traumas like that, if not also like that. When we hold on a secret, I hid onto that secret for 36 years from my
Mm,
family. And it created a disconnect, not only in my relationship with my family, but really in any relationship I had with anybody, because I was afraid to show up as fully me because one, I didn't think people would love me, accept me, like me if they knew this dirty secret that I had that, because I was always told,
yeah.
because of that happened. Right. So I'll never forget it. At the time I was a medical device rep for Boston Scientific. I lived in Kansas City and I was at the top hospital, St. Luke's hospital. And I had built up really good relationships with the top key cardiologists in that room. There was, however, one cardiologist I didn't really have to call on. I forget his name, but um, he'd always say hi to me, and I'd say hi to everybody in the lab and whatever, made friends with people in the lab. But I remember one day after I'd done the work, I confronted my abuser and told my entire family what had happened. And I
Mm,
went into the lab on that Monday. He goes, "Something's different about you, Kimberly." He goes, "It's like this like weight has been lifted. You're just glowing. You look so happy. Like it's just wow, this aura about you." So my point being is when we hold on to secrets or hold on to anything, we're lying, we're cheating, whatever, it affects how we show up. It affects one, our relationship with ourselves, and then also the connection we have with others is kind of my point. And that's kind of the subset of the book is how we hold ourselves back from truly connecting because of the things, the lies, the secrets we hold, the authenticity we're not showing up as. And then there's a lot of, I think there's 15 connection corrections I have at the book about how you can actually correct that. So anyway, that's kind of the story around the book. It's also available on Audible, which I really enjoyed doing the Audible portion of that. So feel free to get it, listen to it. Love to have your comments, personally and professionally. So
well, that's when we got close, right? Because we
right.
met at a networking event, and then you told me about your book, and then I read it, and I was like, "Oh, we have to know each other." I said, "Your authenticity in this book is courageous." And I'm very drawn and attracted to courageous people, right? I also had something happen to me very young. I blogged about it. I've shared it out there, and it's so true. Until it was driving my car every day in every way, and I never connected the dots. Not until I was older, not until I did the work, the inner game work, and I was like, I was like, "Oh my god."
Yeah.
Right? Right? And every once in a while, I'll feel it bubbling it up, but because of my inner game work now, I'm able to quiet down. I'm safe. We're good, right?
That inner game is so powerful. It's like, get your inner game on, girl. I mean,
Yeah,
that's just like,
every
it's like,
day in
yeah,
every way.
yeah,
Every
yeah.
day in every way, right? Because it will change your life in the best of ways too. It's so much more joyful and
Yes. When
glorious.
you realize there is the outer game doesn't exist. It's really the inner game.
Yeah. Oh,
Yes.
I
That
haven't
makes your
you
outer game
can't tell
good.
me
Yeah.
that not one time in my career. You could never sat me down and said that inner game, or what I call the love capacity in my second book, had anything to do with my success. Nothing. I would have been like, "Yeah." I would have looked at you like you had 3 heads, right? And then I wouldn't have hung out with you. I was like, "No, it's my
Yeah.
hard work and me driving me and myself into the ground," right? right? Again, it's not unusual, right? It's not
Right.
unusual. I want to talk about your share here, your SWE step into your spotlight share. Going to college and leaving home was a pivotal year for my growth. It changed my life. Yeah.
I have a wonderful family. It's a Midwest family based in Ohio. I was born in New Jersey, raised Pittsburgh. Then we moved as a family to Ohio. And then subsequent to that, after I went to college, MBA, I moved on my own to Kansas City and then out to California. But love my parents dearly. I was, in high school, A plus plus student, APA classes. I was first chair flute and marching band and concert band, honor student. But I was a nerd. I know you find that hard to believe. But I had the Coke bottle glasses because they didn't have contacts yet. And they were thick because I had glasses since I was, I think, kindergarten. And I didn't actually start wearing them until I was first grade. And I'd always been tall for my age too. So I was kind of a nerd and shy. And we had just moved from Pennsylvania to Ohio too. So I was new in my freshman year of high school, which didn't help because it was a very cliquey area. So basically when I decided to go to school, I went to Kent State Honors College in Kent, Ohio, Kent State. I decided that, you know what? I'm not going to be a nerd anymore.
Oh, cool.
I want to be really, really social. And if that means my grades drop, so be it.
Okay.
And so I was on this mad mission and I just became Miss Social. And I decided not to join a sorority for my own personal reasons, but I had a lot of friends, a lot of connections. I actually got nominated for not even being in a sorority, got nominated to be homecoming queen my senior year, which I thought was a pretty big deal.
Wow.
But my grades didn't suffer either, which was the beauty of that. So, but I let that go. But I just had more fun than fun. It was the best years of my life. It totally blossomed me. That's how I got then into sales.
Oh,
Because I was reading stuff about how to have conversations with people, how to be more social, or how to be comfortable, or build your confidence, or whatever it was. And I became a really good student. So then, boom, when I got out of college, then I got a sales job. And then everything else has been, led up to that, leading healthcare verticals and building out. But it's all about relationships and being able to communicate with people, but more importantly, connect with people. Connections change everything, right? So we
yes,
all connect at an
sister.
emotional level. You
Yes.
can't sell anything to anybody or be a partner with anybody unless you connect on an emotional level. They'll never buy or connect with you on a logical level. They might, oh, I agree with you, but to truly have an emotional connection or a really good relationship, it has to be emotional. So
I
that changed my
agree.
life because
I love how you transformed yourself though. Like how you came out of your cocoon and you were like, you know what? I'm going to make some choices that are right for me right now. And then they actually became your tipping point of what you were going to do next. That's so interesting. I love that.
I hate to think what would have happened if I didn't do that. What would I be a librarian? Oh, which be kind of extinct by now, right? So I'd be almost out of a job, right? So
And I still love myself a library. I swear when I go,
I
when
do
I
too.
go in,
I do. Isn't that
I think
nerdy?
I was shy too. I was shy. And interesting enough, because we're going to be going to Podfest here in January 2024. The whole SWA Media Network, Kimberly, myself, and all the other sisters,
We're doing
we're
a panel.
going. And it's very interesting because I've gone the last 2 years, and what I've noticed about the rooms is a lot of people in those rooms were kind of the awkward kids.
Mhm.
And yet we're doing live shows. We're doing podcasts. We're being on panels. We're like, it's like you couldn't have told me that in a million years growing up. No
Oh,
way.
I would have never believed that. Oh my gosh, never. No.
Oh, never.
No.
I would said, oh no, even though I was a dancer and stuff, but it was always, and that's something else too, making everyone else a star. That was easy for me. But then putting myself in the spotlight,
Bingo.
again,
Bingo.
never. You
Yeah,
can never
that's
told me that. Or that I'm an author of 2 books. That I was going to be an author? No way. That was for everyone else, right? And so Kimberly and I are just like we want you all to know if there's something you want to do out there, and you're scared right now of jumping off the cliff, just think of us and jump anyways. Just do it.
and I'm gonna add to that because what I learned too, whatever your biggest fear
Yeah.
is exactly what you need to be doing, because that will launch you to the other side of your purpose.
Truth.
It I don't understand totally the philosophy around it, but whatever that thing in your gut says, man, I really need to call the television station, and because for this job that they offered or
Right.
whatever it is,
Do it.
if you're afraid to do it, do it. It's like that fear is exactly, if it keeps coming up and bothering you and tapping you on the shoulder and you're not listening to it, that is the thing you exactly need to be doing in order to get to your greatness. Just like when you asked me to be part of this, I was like, oh, I don't know if I could do it. I don't know, no, 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 no. And I'm like, what are you afraid of, Kimberly? Oh, okay. Guess I need to do it. All right.
I
So
know,
here
and
we
you're
are.
like brilliant at it too. And I was like, oh my goodness. I was like, you're such a natural at it. She's got a great voice at her podcast. Y'all tune into her podcast. Fab, like amazing voice. That's such a premiere big screen premiere moment that you just shared. Do it anyways, and that rolls us into your tip here. You can manifest anything you want in life. You just have to believe it, feel it, and be it. And I want to add to this, Kimberly, that I've been encountering, particularly women who've been saying, "But I don't know how." And I said, "No one knows how until you start." I didn't know how to live stream. Did you know how to live stream? We had no idea. Just got to just start.
Jump in, just jump. I mean, you'll
You're
figure it out. I
gonna
mean,
fail, by the way. We'll also give you this nugget of information or nugget, the cherry here. You're gonna fail, right?
you're
You're not
gonna make mistakes. You're gonna feel like a goofball. You're gonna be
you're going
embarrassed.
to.
Yeah.
And then in a year from now, you're gonna look back at those and be like, you're gonna have other mistakes. But those mistakes ain't gonna look like nothing. Right?
Talk about
That's
putting yourself out there, everything, good and bad, right?
I
So,
know that's the way I feel. I was so fearful of that for so long. It's crazy. It's crazy. And it goes back to the childhood traumas,
mhm.
right? Of just not wanting to be too seen or too heard or too this or too that, right? But we're saying go for it anyways because you're a child divine and it's your birthright, literally your birthright. I did a little B-roll for you because I thought it'd be so much fun that I want to share with everyone out
Okay.
there.
Oh, wow, this will be interesting. I've never seen this audience, so this will be hilarious.
I just did it this morning. All right, let's check it out.
Hang on. Oh, my doggy Sammy.
And I wanted to share first of all your puppy because I love your puppy. I
He's so
love your
sweet.
dog.
He's my baby.
But also too about how you're about celebration and celebrating women out there. And it takes courage. It takes courage. And I love and that's her in her wedding dress, everyone.
I would love to wear that thing again. I actually chopped it off. I'm going to pick it up, just so I could wear it again, because who was gonna wear a long dress again? But yeah, so, I saved the material. But, kind of from it going back to your celebration point, when I was in that workaholic stage and I was shifting and transforming and trying to create more balance in my life and trying to create the day to be joyful, not just this workaholic treadmill of things, I thought, okay, I'm going to celebrate every day, something every day at the end of my day. And I do that with a glass of wine, but I celebrate something good that happened. I start my day with my rule is start with day with great coffee and my day with a great glass of wine, right? So it's about celebration. It's about celebrating yourself, whatever that marquee is. You light a candle at the end of the day, have a glass of wine, take a walk around the park, whatever it is, take a bath, shower. I just make it important to just celebrate the day because you will never get this day back again, and you don't know what tomorrow's bringing. And so I like that's why I love birthdays to celebrate. Like I think birthdays are a lot of people don't like their birthday. I'm like, birthdays are great, and as you get older, it gets better. Why? Because you get so if you're
They're
turning,
amazing.
I know,
You get like people love on you.
I know.
Like
What other excuse
presents
you have to
and
eat all the ice cream and eat all that cake? It's your birthday. You're
I mean, and
allowed,
people
or
like
drink all the
sing to
champagne.
you, and that's like a signal that your vibrations go up. And I truly believe, I remember one time when I blew out my candle, I felt this pure love came over me, and I knew that wish was going to come true. It was crazy. It was crazy. I believe in all of that.
What
Absolutely.
was the wish, and did it come true?
It did come true. Yeah, it did come true. Yes. I wish that I was at the Nile in Egypt, but it ended up that worked on the movie Stargate, and that started my movie career
Ah,
because
nice.
it was about Egypt, and I was in the
Oh,
fake
interesting.
Nile, but it was still amazing.
No, yeah.
Um,
Huh. That's well, just that's how the universe delivers it. It's not exactly what wish for, but you
It was
kinda got
actually
it anyway,
better.
right? It was
It was
better,
better.
right?
They were like,
Exactly, for your
"We
movie
need to
career.
get you to Hollywood. We need to get you there so we can get you back out of Hollywood so then you can bring all this purpose to the world." And I was like, "Oh, okay." So, but that took me years to figure out too. I want to talk about the love capacity daily habits. That's my share with everyone today around your wealth is get some daily habits going every single morning. It will change your life. Your inner game will change your life out there. And if you sit down with your daily habits, think about your love capacity from a scale to 1 to 10. How much love could you take right now? Because wealth, prosperity, money, relationships, business opportunities, they're just wealth in a different form. They're just love in a different form, right? Also, too, I have the love capacity bottle here that I sell on
Ooh,
my website that y'all can get. And what you do is you hold it while you're doing your morning daily habits. And it actually was built. Everything in here has to do with bringing you more love capacity. And I had a master, a prayer bottle maker make that.
oh,
So
very cool.
I know, and I love it. I love it. I love it so much. And I know that you're so into daily habits that I knew that that would be great to share today. I have a question for you. What is a piece of advice for women entrepreneurs that want to take their business next level?
Wow. The first thing that comes to mind is when I was starting my business, I was struggling. One, it was kind of right during the pandemic that didn't help. So I was extremely isolated, right? And at the time I wasn't married. I just had my little Sammy. And I had some networking groups and stuff like that, but it was just going from the corporate world and being an executive and having to report to the board or lead teams or making presentations all the time to corporate. It was like to go to just like doing your own thing in your home office. And then no one really cared whether I got up in the morning or not. Like if I won the deal, I was like, high five, and so it's just I mean, I'm a social person now after college, right? So moving up to the Bay Area, I found out this thing called Vistage. And I'm like, I wish I had that when it was available, but I didn't know about it. I just wish I had known about it when I was living in Southern California. So now, in my effort to support women, I am building the first ever in the Bay Area. It's called a Chief Entrepreneur business leader, business owner group. And it's for women and men. But I started it really because there's not a lot of women leading these groups, number one, for business. And number two, I
Sure.
want women to get access to this so that they can take their business to the next level. And it's like, this is not a networking group. This is not a social group. You'll get that for sure. But
Sure.
we literally are in your face about what are you afraid of, Joey? What's the big decision you're not doing and why not? What do and like, why are you doing that? Or I've got an issue. Should I expand to another location? What do you think this product prototype? What do you think this presentation looks like if I'm going to try to get to Shark Tank or whatever? I told you Lisa Love, was on my show the other day. She's from Shark Tank. She joined my group. So I'm like, what a power monster to have. But this is for people that are in the more new development of their business, or they're single business owners and they're like, they've done it for 10 years or 5 years or 2 years, and they just can't get to.
Oh, we lost Kimberly. Okay. Well, but I loved having her on. She's phenomenal. She's phenomenal. She's got an amazing show called Wealth and Women with Kimberly on the SWE Media Network that I'm the founder of. You can find us on YouTube. Please, please, please do. I also have her information here. I'll also put the links down below so you can just grab and you can click and you can learn more about her and get to know Kimberly. She is a dynamo. She's an integrity based leader who truly cares and who's been doing the work, which comes through today. Obviously, it comes through. You can learn more about me, about my products and services at joeyg113.com. And you can also connect with me on social media with Joey Garrity or find me at joeyg113. I am I want to remind you all out there that it is literally your birthright as a woman entrepreneur to thrive, to soar higher and higher and higher out there in the marketplace. I know it takes some courage sometimes, but your future self is cheering you on. And so stretch and grow and jump anyways. Jump off the cliff. Jump off the cliff. I promise you, there's going to be some failures along the way, but there's going to be huge wins that are going to outshadow those failures and that are going to bring you so much love and so much appreciation because that's literally your birthright. Make sure to join me again next Wednesday at 8 a.m. Pacific Coast time and um, at 10 o'clock East Coast time. And you can find us on YouTube. And please subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's by and for women entrepreneurs. And we would really super appreciate it if you were to do that. And it's the ultimate resource center. So subscribe on the YouTube channel. We have everything from business to marketing to social media to inner game to health to wealth. We even have some spirituality on there. So, and it's really about for you women entrepreneurs out there, find more ease and grace, both personally and professionally. So I always end it like this. I love you. 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 And I so very much appreciate you. And thank you again for joining me today. And until next time, ciao, everyone. I am content creator Joey Garrity. I'm the founder of Superstar Women Entrepreneurs Media Network and Joey G113. I'm dedicated to empowering women entrepreneurs to create a beautiful, personal, and professional lifestyle by spotlighting superstar tools, tips, and resources that gain them ease and grace. Every episode, myself, along with a featured guest, share our Superstar Women Entrepreneurs journey on my globally recognized show, Superstar Women Entrepreneurs Spotlight with Joey.